Call the member for Chifley.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. People say Mike Baird's a nice guy, but his government doesn't seem it.
That's right.
In my area, he has presided over or has sat on his hands as the people, the suburbs I represent, are completely stuffed over by terrible funding decisions. You know, it was the New South Wales state government that ripped out a cardiac ward from our local hospital in Mount Druitt in an area where heart disease takes the lives of so many people. They got rid of it. They're going through and they're standing by as the Abbott government rips billions out of education funds. 270 million ripped out over 10 years in the Chifley electorate, and you hardly hear a peep out of the New South Wales Liberal government. They just brought down a budget that they crow about all the infrastructure spending they're doing. They're completely craven. There are a number of railway stations that are relics of the 50s, literally look like relics of the 50s in Western Sydney. Toongabbie, Rooty Hill, Doonside, off the top of my head. They're now supporting large growth in population through new estates in the area, and they can't even get things like lifts, except of course if you're in Toongabbie because you sit in the marginal seat and you want to get one of your own up, and they do it. And I get it, both sides of politics will obviously dedicate resources to their own, totally understand it. But you also should do it in a way that recognises need elsewhere and at least seem balanced. Like if you're going to give one to your own, why aren't you also recognising the need down the track, and in this case, pardon the pun, down the track, but in Doonside and in Rooty Hill, when I'm there meeting constituents and they are literally puffing at the top of these steep ramps because we can't put simple things like lifts in there, and their recent state budget that they brought down this week doesn't even provide it. And just coming back to healthcare, the healthcare cuts that the Abbott government are undertaking, the New South Wales Shadow Health Minister, Walt Secord, has found the figures out of the New South Wales government that admits that what the federal coalition government is doing to the New South Wales coalition government in health is going to hit the poorest the hardest in my area. And so Mike Baird might be a nice guy, but he doesn't run a nice government, and he doesn't run a strong one that stands up for New South Wales people and should be looking after them. And I again call on them to meet the needs of the local area, be it on education, be it on healthcare, and especially be it on infrastructure in our local suburbs.